Well, welcome back everyone. This is your host idjester. This time we're getting right back into it. Roll20.net. Of course, this is a virtual tabletop we're looking at. This is free to play, free to sign up, free to create an account. And of course, the only disadvantage is, well, number one, you're not supporting the game. Number two, you will get advertisements. So if you don't like those things, you can sign up for either a one package that's $5 a month, or a more advanced package, which is like $10 a month, and you will disable the ads. Plus, you'll get a bunch of freebies. So we were looking at, geez, I got distracted on everything we're doing here. So yeah, we got our little orc over here. There we are. So what we were doing here is, yeah, we were talking about characters and creating characters last time, and that this information actually means something to the game. So you can actually create your characters in the game. Of course, you could create it outside the game with a different program and then just take the stats. You would input the stats in here. I don't think, as of right now, there's a way to import the characters if you've already created electronically somewhere else. I'm sure they're probably working on that. This was just released August 3rd. It is now August 11th, so it's only been online 8 days. So, and 5th edition really isn't even coming out until, the player's handbook isn't coming out until the 19th. So, we're kind of in this flux area of, okay, well, it's almost here. Do I update this sheet? Or do I wait until the player's handbook comes out and then update the sheet? Because it might be slightly different than the rules of the basic free edition rules. They might be slightly different. I don't know. It's just, probably they'll update it so that you can create your character and then just upload it, and it'll put all the stats in. I'm hoping they would do that at least. Alright, so so that was the third tab over. So first tab, obviously the chat. Second tab is all the tokens and icons. Third tab over is the characters. Fourth tab, and this is one of the really cool features of Roll20.net, is it's got a jukebox. So you can see I've actually got some songs in the jukebox here. And basically, you can create any kind of atmosphere you're looking for. If you're looking for background music, sound effects. Let's look for something that has water dripping. All right? So let's play that. That is water dripping. Yep. So I'll add that to my... I'll turn it off. Thank you. So if later on into the game we don't have a cave map, but let's just say the players end up going into a cave map, I can let's remove some of these here because some of these were just practice things here. Where did our... here it is. So I can play this. I can actually adjust the volume if I want to just like fade it off in the background so they just hear this just in the background as the DM's talking. It kind of immerses your players into the moment. Alright, so we if we have a situation where the players are around town and they're gathering some supplies, they're talking to a merchant. I'm actually playing two sound files here, people talking and crowd talking. And so, you can hear this in the background. I'll turn it up slightly because I don't know how well these will translate with my video, my recording software. So I'll turn them up a little bit right now just so you guys can hear them. And I'll turn them back down. But so you can see they're... Obviously, you could turn them down and then, talk to your players and say, oh, yeah, you're talking to the merchant and this is what's going on, yada, yada, yada. So lots of very interesting, cool things. If you just want to have, I don't know, let's do some overland traveling. So if they're, can't find anything. Let's just try overland music. Oh, that sounds good. Okay. So they're starting to travel, yada yada yada. You just start playing this. Maybe. Hello? There it goes. Of course, you can loop it, or you just play it once and it's done. And like I already showed you can obviously turn that down so it's just in the background. Now the cool thing is, you know how everybody, when you get like 5 people together playing D&D, for some reason there's some people with really loud mics and really soft mics and yada yada yada. Everybody has access to the last tab over here, which is going to be their settings, and they can actually adjust their music volume level. So if it's coming along too loud, or they don't want to hear it too loud, they can adjust it themselves. So the DM can adjust how loud it is coming out for him, and then every player can individually go ahead and decide how loud he wants it or how soft they want it, just based on their own personal preferences. So that is the Jukebox, one of these super cool features in Roll20, and you can see how quickly and easily. Let's look for some more sound effects here. Let's look for wings. No, that's more like a we just want sound effects. Wings. Flapping. Let's try that. Nope. Let's try flapping then. Okay, now that's an airship. Okay. Nope. Not good. Alright. Let's go back to flying, maybe? Dragging flying. Okay. Not exactly what I was having in mind when I was thinking about. Oop, we don't want that one. Let's try this one. Oh, it's got a nice mellow thing to it. That's cool. Yep. All right. Well, anyways, you get the point. You can look up sound effects. You can look up background music. You can just click on it, add it to your module. Here you go. Anytime you want it. We did the cave story. Let's see what that one was. I downloaded that last night, obviously. So it's just kind of like this music for them as they're adventuring around in the cave. Maybe that was the one I just downloaded today. Nope. Here's the one I downloaded last night, I think. All kinds of different stuff. You can obviously see. There's no sense in me going. Alright, so anyways, that's the 4th tab over. 5th tab is a kind of a waste for me, but it's probably important for other gaming systems. It gives you a deck of cards. So you have a deck of cards down here. You can click the shuffle button. Yes, shuffle. And I can pull out a card, and then I can put it on the table and say, oh, you got a 9 of hearts. Or you got a jack of diamonds. Of course, I could delete these. Delete. I could deal a certain amount of cards. Let's shuffle it up again. Yep, shuffle it up. And bring out King of Spades, whatever. Alright, so it's a deck of cards for whatever reason you might need a deck of cards. If you're doing a deck of many things, I guess, or something like that, could be kind of cool. But yeah, and you can add cards. All the cards are basically a an icon that you're uploading, which is already obviously in the system. Rollable tables. Now, I haven't actually investigated into this too much, but this sounds like something that could be very cool. You could have a table for encounters that you could create, and then roll on the table. Lots of different options, I think, with this. So that could be good. I haven't really done much with it yet. So that was that tab. The last tab over is the last tab. Some of this stuff I think are going to be on everybody's, and some are going to be just for the DM, because there's some DM stuff here. So there is performing macros. This is where you can set up this Hammer fist attack. You can see I can have it here in my action bar. So if this is like an NPC I'm using and I don't want to have to bring up his character sheet to do his attack, I can just put all the important attacks in here, and when it comes time, he'll have his attacks down here at the bottom, and I can just click on it and it'll roll. And if we go back to our chat window, you can see he rolled an 18 and a 4. So the first die roll was an 18, added 2, he got a 20. So we would compare that to the armor class of said monster. So if we look lastly on this tab, speaking of which, there is lots of cool information about the icons on the desktop. Not only do they snap, but when you see when I click on it, it makes it the active icon, and several things pop up. There's 3 bars above his head. Bar 1, which happens to be in the middle. Bar 2, which happens to be over here. And bar 3 over here. I think they need to fix that. This should be bar 1, 2, 3, but, whatever. So it's 1, 2, 3. Anyways, you can adjust the color of these bars. So if you want to have, say, a yellow bar, a purple bar, or a pink bar and a red bar, or whatever you want, you can do that. So you can see now we have a yellow, an orange, and a pink. Now, I don't know what they were on to default with. I think they were like a green, and a blue, and a red. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so I got to click off of him. There we go, green. Alright, so what are these bars for? What do they do? Well, they do pretty much whatever you want it to do. If I double click this icon, you will see it has like, it's not a character sheet, but it's just an information sheet. So you can see it's a generic token. It could be represent any of the characters that I currently have in my, what is this tab called, by the way? It's called the journal. Okay, in the journal, it could represent someone in the journal. It could be just a generic token. So in this case, it's just a generic orc. I'm not going to really name it anything or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So this is the basic information. It's a generic token. So I can get fancy, and I can call this orc1. Yes, that is fancy. And I can say show nameplate. So what does that do? Save the changes. You will see that it now says, let's see if I can, I can't pull them off the map. Okay, well, you can see it says orc1 there. So I just added a nameplate. Easier for your players if they go, oh, I'm going to attack orc1 because you can see it's orc1 there, right? There's another way to do this, which we'll get to in just a second. You can tell who is controlled by. So in this case, it'll be controlled by the DM, my case, or you can say all players, or you can put both people in there. And so everybody can control it. You can have a tint color to it. So what is this good for? Well, let's say somebody's become poisoned for whatever reason. I can put like a green tint on them to remind everybody, oh, that character has been poisoned. Let's zoom in a little bit, shall we? Oh, yes, by the way, you can zoom in and out. I don't know if I showed you that last time or not, but that's up here in the top right-hand corner. So now you can see this orc is poisoned. Let's say this orc is on fire. You're on fire. You can give him a nice red tint if he's on fire. What else can I do with him? Poison, whatever. I can give him a color for just about anything I wanted. Let's go back to no color. So you have action bar 1, 2, and 3. These can be set up for anything you want as the DM. So, for me, I would use action bar 3 since it's red for hit points. This guy has 10 hit points. He currently has 10 hit points. So when I hit OK, save changes, you will see this guy now has a red bar and also has a red little token up here in the corner that says 10. Now, none of this is seen by the players. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I can go to this tab over here on the right and I can rejoin as a player. So we're just going to, hey, I'm joining Kirk's session here. And it gives you a little welcome to D20, yada yada. Oh, there's the orc. And I lied. Thank you very much for rejoin as DM. Let's find out why that is true. I might have already clicked on some things I shouldn't have clicked on when I was doing something earlier. Oh yes, I know why. No, it's controlled just by me. Oh yes, so duh. You're actually telling whether or not C, all players can view. Yes, nothing's clicked there. Not sure why. Okay. I'm sure I'm missing something. But anywho, let's just go back. So I can use the red bar as hit points. And so like if somebody hits them, I can say, oh, you did 5 points of damage. I can just put -5 in there. Watch what happens. Magically, 10 minus 5 is 5, so it'll be 5. Not only that, but you see his health bar. Oh, let's zoom in again. Boop. Oh, look at his health bar's halfway down. Oh, look at that. He's severely wounded. I could do the same thing again. Another player hits him for 3 points of damage, -3. He's down to 2 hit points, etc., etc. So you can use this for whatever. When we were doing our attack rolls, if we have our numbers in our blue that represent, I don't know, let's say armor class, something crazy like you would use all the time. Say this guy has a 13 armor class. And save changes. You can see I can just, if one of the players decides to come over and attack this guy, he says, okay, I rolled a 12 plus 2, I rolled a 14. I can just click on the orc and say, yep, that's a hit, because I can see his armor class right there. Quickly and easily. Pretty cool, yes? Alright. And you can use the third bar, the green one, or whatever color you want to set up for anything else special. If you're going to gain hit points back, there's a million things you could use it for. This guy's got an aura around him. Let's give him a square of 10 feet in yellow. You can see I can quickly and easily add an aura of 10 foot around him, because that's what I just set up. If I go 5 foot, there we go. If I take off square, it should be round. There we go. Nice aura effect around him. So that way you can change the color. If this guy's raging, maybe I want to put out a nice red color to remind everybody, oh, this guy's raging. So yeah, you can have multiple auras. And of course, again, direction and feet, how many feet, and whether you want it square or circular or whatever. You also have access to GM notes, so we can say this orc will fight to the death. Alright, so save changes. So even if a player looks at this guy and has access to him, you won't see the GM notes. Save and double check everything I say, because I can't believe that actually rejoined as a player. Yeah, I've got it. Don't show that again. There you go. So you see the aura. You can see, obviously, again, each player has access. Remember how I was scrolled in as the DM? Each player has access to scroll in or out however they see fit. So it's not like you don't have your window locked or anything. If I click on the orc and I go here, you can see, I can see his name, the different bars he has access to. But remember, no DM information. So I'm wondering exactly. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. So rewind. Let's join as the DM. Yes. All right. When a player logs in, they will have access to the journal here, and they'll be able to click on the journal. And when they click on the journal, they'll have access to that character. I think what I was doing was I was clicking on the orc. That gave that player access to the orc, and nobody else. So what we're going to do here is test my theory and rejoin as a player. This time I will not click on the orc. I will click on our buddy BlackRock here. So the player would just go here. Oh, nope. Maybe can he click on that? No. Okay. Strange. Anywho, I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. As I said, I'm not an expert on this. I'll figure it out. But anyways, I'm just trying to show you a little confusion there on everything. Anywho, so we're just looking at each of the icons. See, this guy's an icon. The reason this guy is different than this guy is because this guy is an embedded character. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But this guy was created differently because let's say we have a super cool character we're making here. And we'll just use the goblin for an example here. I could make up a goblin here. Maybe he's the Goblin King. I want to have a specific thing for the Goblin King. I'm going to put all the information in. 14, 10, 12, 10. Alright, whatever. I would fill out his character. I can do his bio, his attributes, and all that stuff. Okay. So that is the goblin, right? Yes, okay. So what I could do is give the goblin access to this character here. If I go into edit, here brings up the edit information. So let's call this guy the Goblin King. EA could put some information in a player's journal, or all players' journals, and tell whether it can be edited or controlled by a certain player, or give it some certain tags so it's easier to find. Give it a default token. Well, right now I don't have that token on this map, so let's just go ahead and remove that token. But let's give this guy, use the selected token, there we go. So now this token represents the Goblin King. Now what's the advantage of that, you say? Well, there's several advantages to that. Number one is that I can link all of these things, the different bars, to different attributes. So if I did it right, this guy is going to represent the Goblin King. Now you notice when I switched it to the Goblin King, I now have access to some other options over here. So I can say bar 3 equals oh boy, we're going to have to scroll way down here for HP, hit points. There we go. So this is now linked to this character sheet as the Goblin King, and it'll automatically keep track of that information on his bar here. So let's edit, let's save the changes here first. Let's give this guy some class. Let's just give him a 3rd level fighter. Add that. There you go. Yada yada yada. Current hit points. Let's give him 22 hit points. Max 22 hit points. Alright, so there we go. You will notice when I did this on the character sheet, what happened over here to the icon. The icon automatically updated. Same thing if we change this to his armor class, we can change this to AC for armor class. Right? So now it'll automatically keep track of whatever's on this character sheet on this icon. And this is what a player would normally do. So what we have to do is go in their inventory, give him chain mail, chain mail, right? And we'll give him a, was it a 16? Is that what that is nowadays? It's armor type of medium. Magical bonus, yeah, you know what? It's magic bonus of 1. Stealth penalty, we'll say no. Speed penalty, no. Yada, yada, yada. You notice when I do all this information, it updates the character right away. So the players are going to do this. They're going to have their own little icon, And anytime they adjust information on their character sheet, it automatically adjusts the information on their icon. So, yep, super cool in that you're linking the two back and forth. So, yep. All right. Okay, so let's edit again just to make sure I've did what I was going to do. Okay, there's our icon. Okay, we could drop in another file if we wanted to. We could put in some bio and info. And of course, any of the GM notes only visible by the GM. We can actually duplicate it or archive it. Alright, so let's say okay. Let's give him a weapon. Did we give him a weapon? We haven't given a weapon yet. Long sword. Main hand, finesse, no. Magical bonus +1. Damage, actually, this is going to be damage dice. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be damage dice. What's a longsword? 1d8? 1d8. So I don't need to add like 1 + 2 because you see that's already over there. So if I was running this, let's say this is a character, I would have access to my little icon. I would have access to my character sheet. I would have it all filled out, ready to go. We would be playing, and the DM would say, okay, what are you going to do? Alright, well, I'm going to walk up to this guy here, say 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to attack this character right here. Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. You just click on the button. You can see the dice come out. Oh, we have to be on the chat. There we go. And you can see that it rolled a 13 and a 17. So again, with 5th edition, unless you got advantage, you're just going to take the first dice roll. Or disadvantage, I guess I should say. If you have advantage or disadvantage, if you have advantage, you're going to take the higher of the two. If you have disadvantage, you're going to take the lower of the two. But that's going to be your total. Now this number's already calculated into, you can see here if I just hover over it, it's given him his +2 for, or is it a +3 for his attack? Let's see. Strength should be +1. +1 to hit. There it is, down there at the bottom. There's a bunch of other stuff there, but it's +1 to hit. Alright, so you can see it's already calculated in. I don't need to worry about that. What was I doing? So, yep, so the DM would say, yeah, you're 13, yeah, he hit, for whatever reason. Let's say this guy didn't have armor on or whatever. Then, of course, all I have to do is click on the damage. And basically the same thing is going to happen. It's going to roll 2 dice. But of course, you're just going to take 5 damage. And then it says here, extra 3 damage on a crit. So the extra damage is only for a critical. So if you didn't roll a 20, you don't get, in 5th edition, you don't get damage dice unless you get a critical. If you do get a critical, you would obviously add these two together. The DM can say, oh, okay, you did 5 damage, so, you know, if this guy should be linked. Why is he not linked? That might be part of the problem. Let's edit this guy. Here we go. Default character token. Let's remove him. Yes. Add this. Add selected token. There we go. So now these two should be linked. Alright. Character sheet. We're just going to come in and say this is Hammer Fist. This should be his hit points. This should be his armor class. See how quick and easy I'm doing this now. So there you go. He's got 11 hit points. He had armor class of 17. So if I'm the player, I can just see this information. Let's see, the goblin just did how many points of damage? He did 5 points of damage. So as a player, I can just click on here and say, okay, -5. Bam. I got 6 hit points left. Alright, Black Rock, it's your turn now. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to hammer fist him. So I've already got a macro assigned here. You know, we got a short sword, or we got a sword attack, or we have a attack. So we'll just roll our attack here. Boom, 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 boom. And there we go. So we rolled a 1 on our original dice. We don't have advantage, so we can just disregard the second 20. And so I rolled a total of 3, and the DM would say, yep, you missed. Sorry about that, buddy. Good try. Maybe next time. Let's get rid of these cards. And of course, you could be playing on a grid. If the DM knew what he was doing, he would have a grid out there. Sure. And of course, when you move your tokens around, like I showed you last episode, everything would sync in with the grids. Now, once you have a character selected, there is a way to rotate the characters so they're facing a different direction. Now, what that key is, I have no idea. It was supposed to be the mouse scroller. Maybe I have to hold the mouse scroller in. I don't know. Of course, I could probably check the wiki help page. We want to rotate character. Let's see what comes up. Turn around. You can get started. Really? Let's see what this says. Oh, it's just. So they have a really nice wiki. Token features probably in there. Name, control by. Player permissions, emanates light. Sure, it's in here somewhere. I'm just having usual hard time trying to find what I'm looking for here. Maybe it's like the Alt arrow keys. Let's try that. Go back to our. Hold down the Alt. Oop, that's not it. Go back to our Alt arrow. Nope. Control arrow. Nope. Shift arrow. Nope. Okay, those options didn't work. Control by. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Oh, duh. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Yes, I know how to do this. What the hell am I thinking? When you click on an icon, that gives you this little trail here. You just click on the little tail, and you can rotate your character. Duh. I've only done it like a million times. I was just like thinking, yeah, I've done this a million times. Why can't I do it? So obviously you can rotate your character. So, if you move up, obviously this guy, when he moves up, sometimes he gets a little stuck on the bars, but there we go. You notice when I click back on the character, it doesn't rotate the little bubbles. Okay, so let's look at the rest of these bubbles really quickly. So again, bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, you can just have it generic, which, your DM would probably set you up with an icon so that you can have access to some of your most important things in bar 1, 2, and 3. Hit points, armor class, I'm not sure. Maybe like a skill check you use a lot, or I don't know. I'm sure there's you can see movement. Probably maybe like a movement rate would be. Let's look at movement. How many feet you move? Yeah, that would probably be a good thing. I like that actually. So we'll just say he's 30, right? So I could link this. So this is one of these things I could link to the character, but it's probably not going to be something that's going to change a lot. So I could just, not use that and just say, okay, I got a movement of 30 feet. There you go. Save changes. Boom. So a player can click on this thing and say, oh, I got 6 hit points. I moved 30 feet, and I got an armor class of 17. Boom, boom, boom. Easy, quick, and easy peasy, right? And of course, the advanced options are to allow your players to be able to see bar 1, 2, or 3. If you don't want them to be able to see the bars, then so you don't want them to know how many hit points the enemy has left, you can obviously take those off. So the way they can see, if you want them to see bar 1, you would click on see bar 1. And this is C. All players can view, edit, controlling player can view, and change. Okay. So that is that about that. Now, the other little tab that comes up is this little icon thing. And it gives you really cool options to add little icons to the character. So for whatever reason, maybe this guy is, I don't know, he's slow. So a snail represents slow. So you can see on his character, he's got a little snail, so that reminds him and everybody else that this character's slow. Or maybe he is also, there's a whole bunch of these things now. Maybe he's prone, so maybe we can use this icon for prone. I don't know, it's up to you and your players. But just keep scrolling around. Now you can see that covers up the bar. Well, we can fix that. Just come into the settings tab and you can say, I want my position to be on the bottom. And so you can, now they're on the bottom. Or you could say I want them to be on the left, so they'll be on the left side, or on the right side. So we'll put them on the bottom. I think that's much better than having them up there by the bar, because I think the only bar that I'm actually interested in is the one that's going to change is going to be the hit points one. Maybe some of the other gaming systems might be slightly different. So one of the other things is you can add like a color to like a color token. So what would this be good for? Glad you asked. I am going to actually get rid of this guy's aura because it's driving me insane. Delete. Thank you. Save changes. Alright, so the DM is created one of these orcs, goblins, whatever they were. I can just copy, right-click copy, right-click paste. I could also do a shortcut key of Control-C, Control-V, and I've just pasted another one. So I got 3 Goblin Kings all of a sudden. Normally they wouldn't say Goblin King. Maybe they would just say Goblin on them. So how do your players go, oh, well, I'm going to attack the Goblin King? You go, well, which one are you attacking? No. DMs that are on the ball, well, all they'll do is click on this, and they'll give each one a different icon. So I'm going to give this guy blue, and I'm going to give this hello, thank you very much. Give this one green. Click on this guy and give him purple. There you go. So we have 3 goblins, and they're different. So your players can say, "Oh, I'm going to attack the goblin with the green. I'm going to attack the green goblin. Or I'm going to attack the purple goblin. Or I'm going to attack the blue goblin." Whatever. So that way, it's easier for your players to decide easily which one of these characters are different. But they can see all these guys are the same. They're the same kind of goblin because they got the same icon. They're probably going to have pretty much the same stats. The only difference is now we've got a blue one, a green one, and a purple one. So very cool there. So we're going to get into more Roll20 in the next episode. This is kind of an overview. Some of the things that we've come across, some of the things we can do with it, some of the cool little features. And next time I'm going to show you a really cool feature about D20 map, or D20 map, Roll20.net in the next episode. So leave your thoughts and comments, suggestions below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.